Okay, everybody, we're going to go through the basics of the rifle. Everybody's familiar with this. You got the barrel and the muzzle. You got your front hand guard there. You want to hold that? Yeah. All right. Your ejection port. Most of you guys got collapsible stocks. We do have a couple full stocks in here. All right. I'm going to forward assist. Does everybody got a forward assist on yours? Anybody got the real old one? Sergeant Major probably remembers. I got one that's so old it doesn't have a forward assist on it. All right. How many people in here have totally broke these rifles down before and cleaned them? So it's going to be review. Some of you have never really done it.
Have not done it before?
Not done it before? Okay. All right. Well, you're going to learn today.
How many know what a mil is? How many know what an MOA is? Okay. So 100 yards hot. What is 1 minute of angle?
1 inch.
1 inch?
1.043 inches.
1.047 inches.
Sure it's not 3?
Yeah, 1 inch. 7. So basically, at 100 yards, one MOA is 1.047 inches of an inch. That's the most common way. We're talking about minutes here before we talk about mils. So that means at 1,000 yards, how much is it?
10.
10, really 10 and a half, but 10 inches is close enough. So at 500, how much is it?
5 1/4.
Yeah, 5 1/4, yeah. So you see how it's easy, minutes are easy to kind of put in. So if it's 200 yards, it's 2 inches. So at 300 yards, 1 minute worth 3 inches roughly, right?
Yeah.
Everybody follow the logic? Very simple. Okay, a mil. How many people can tell me what a mil is at 100 yards? Anybody know how much 1 mil is at 100 yards?
3.6 inches.
Yeah, 3.6 inches. At 1,000 yards, it would be
36 inches.
36 inches. Yes. Oh, I think they had up. Mils is typically how the military runs it. Mils is a much bigger, broader measurement than minutes. It's a little harder for us to typically to comprehend because at 500 yards, what's 1 mil? Anybody know off the top of their head? 18. Yeah. You just have to think a little more. It's a lot broader. Who knows the difference between second, fourth focal plane optics is? So what's that? Second and fourth focal plane on optics is how they put the crosshairs in a scope. If it's fourth focal plane, the optics gets bigger and smaller as you turn the optics up and down. So it holds the same power measurement. So if you're on 10 power and you go down to 5 power front focal plane, the reticle is still the same. If it's an MOA, it doesn't switch. But if you're second focal plane, the crosshairs stay the same time, off the same side all the time, and it's only set up for 1 power. So if it's a 10 power scope on 10 power, it's really 1 minute. If you go down to 5, it'd be a half minute, what it would look like on it. So it's real hard to figure out distance or use your scope accordingly with that. Does that kind of make sense? Who can tell me, what do you mean by milling a target? What is that?
Range.
Okay, how do you do it? Anyone tell me how you do it?
Well, if you have a mil-dot reticle, your mils are a specific distance apart and a specific width.
Okay.
So you have to know what a mil is, how many mils apart they are, and then you see how many the target takes up, and then you calculate the distance.
Anyone know the clock duration? Anybody know the clock duration? Okay, I'll tell you here real quick. Basically, if you're milling target get range, the key things you have to, one key thing and the biggest diff out of doing this is, basically, anything past 800 is real tough to mill a target and be accurate. I don't care who you say y'all, how much you've done it, because the odds of getting the target size just right, you stand there still with your scope looking at it and not having it moving a lot and get the right measurement is almost impossible. It's really good for 500-600 yards of closer.
And you have to know the exact width of the target.
That's what we're talking about, all the size of the target. And so if some guy said, oh, I can mill 1,000 yards, he's probably never done it before because it's almost impossible. Basically, you take the size of the target. Basically, it's a 68 inch, just made something up. You times it by 27.77, very easy. It comes to 888.3. Then you divide that by how many mils it is. So if it's 4 mils, you can reckon how the height of it is, it's at 472 yards. That's all the 4 meter is. It's not that complicated. So just remember, size of the target, height or width, it's always 27.77. It's easy. It's not quite as accurate.
There are red dots that have MOA and MILDOT as well.
Lower. It's like sniper school.
You take the same size, I do the same thing. It's 68.
This is what, MOA?
Yeah, it's MOA. You divide it by the minutes. Let's say it's 2. And then you always times it by 95.5. And that distance, it'll be 3,247 yards.
So that's not going to be accurate anyway.
No. But I'm just telling you, using MOA is tougher than mils. Let's see here. We'll talk about temperature and slope angle. Just a couple more, little bit of more math here. We all know if you're aiming you got a target down here, and you're aiming like that. We all know if you're aiming down a slope, what it does to your board, right?
Won't shoot high.
Yeah. Typically, why is that?
Because you're already shooting down, so gravity doesn't have to, you're not starting, I guess your drop is going to be different.
Yeah, but why is your drop different?
If you're shooting uphill, it's going to be.
It's the same, uphill, down is the same.
Yeah.
But why is that? Why when you shoot on an angle, why does it make a difference?
Because if you drop something from still and you're not putting any force behind it, it drops at 9.81 meters per second.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are projecting it down, it's going to go faster, so I guess you're going to travel a different distance over the same amount of drop.
You're close. It's close to how that works.
It's like the bullets falling down.
Gravity pulls different on the board, if it's flat or going uphill, downhill. If the pull on gravity changes, you're pretty close to what you're talking about there. So when you're shooting on an angle, the gravity's pulling different on the board than it is going flat. Make sense to everybody? So if this is 800 yards, let's say, this an actual would be 772 yards. What you would have to figure up your dope to make the shot. So that's why in other words, that's why you shoot high, because this distance always is less than this distance. Does that make sense?
Does your bullet speed pick up too if shooting down?
No, it makes no difference.
None at all?
No.
So gravity don't fuck with that?
The 772 is also why it shoots high whether you're shooting up or high whether you're shooting down.
Yeah, it makes no difference up or down here. The reason I'm telling you all this is, so if you're like on top of that hill, and you shoot down this angle, you know you're going to shoot high. I'm not telling you to figure the math out in the field, because when this thing snipers through, aim a little bit low. Okay, temperature difference. We'll have to get a barometric pressure because that's a bigger difference, but this temperature and how you power borings. What happens there? Anybody can tell me, if we go on zero right now when it's 20 degrees and we go back out to 70 degrees.
It's the force that opposes the bullet for starters, right?
Your air is heavier.
Well, yeah, it's saying it's the barometric pressure changes. It's how you powder bore it.
Cut through, correct?
Well, no, yeah, when it goes through the air, because it depends on where your BP's at, your barometric pressure's at. And your powder bore typically colder, slower when it's colder out than it is when it's warmer out. Hard board, when it's hotter, it's going to burn faster. So you get more of a punch out of it. Your feet per second will be faster. So when we get out there and we zero and stuff, when I give you your feet per second, it's going to be at this. I'm going to give you the temperature, the barometric pressure, and the humidity, and that's where it's set up at this day using that ammo. When you go to the range, when you come to shoot with me, we're going to shoot to a chronograph. We're going to try to figure out some of your ballistics for you and help you out here a little bit. We're going to talk about zeroing here in a second. and Melissa go along with zeroing how we like to zero a rifle. Does anybody tell me what the yardage you want to zero your rifle at? Anybody know what? Is it 10, 15, 20?
What rifle?
500? We're talking 8, this is AK, I mean.
AK.
AR.
I personally like a 100-yard zero, but I know a lot of people probably in the Marine Corps go 25, 300.
Well, we'll talk about all that, and you can make up your own mind, you know. But I'm going to explain to you why we do what we do on the different zeros. Basically, how many zeros do you have? When you zero your rifle, how many zeros do you usually have?
2.
2. Okay. You got your gun here, you got your line of sight, you got the bullet come out, you got the target down here. What I would like to, my recommendation, what I wrote is for, you know what, more than 8 inches difference on your curve, on your zero. So that way, where you can get a point zero or combat zero, whatever you want to call it. That way you know from 0 out to typically between 250 and 300 on an AR, you're not off more than 8 inches. Most times less than 6 if you set your zero up right. That's all you got to do with your iron sights is hold dead center and you know to hit somebody. Makes sense? It's easy, it's quick. It's pretty well bulletproof. You don't have to do a lot of math, you don't have to do a lot of thinking. Makes sense? How you figure this up is, it's your optics, your iron sights, or your scope, or whatever is red dot. It's the center of your board, the center of your optics is a huge part of that. Typically, the higher you are, the higher zero you want. So if you're like that one, I think 3 1/4 inches off the board. I think I got 49-yard zero on that. So it came out ballistically the best zero to get me up to 300 yards. So I think I'm off like 5 inches at 140 yards. Is my biggest. Well, I hit my crest on my zero. So you figure all that up and you come to it. So basically, if the higher your board, the bigger your center of your board to your center of your optics or your sights are at, if it's higher number, you want up your more close to a 50-yard zero to make it work out right. If it's low, like down to 2 inches, you want more like around a 30-yard zero. You know, now we can figure all this up mathematically, but typically if you keep that, because that's kind of like the rule of thumb. So if you're running like iron sights and you're like 2 inches off of 2.5 inches off board, you're probably more around a 35 to 40-yard zero to make it work out right. Everybody understand that?
Just go over it.
You get parallax shift. If this is hugging over this side more, you need to say that's the way it's going to shoot. If it's up more, that's the way it's going to shoot. If it's this way, that's the way it's going to shoot. How you position your head on the rifle is huge. If you got your head over more, up, one way, the other more, it's going to swip your parallax to where you might see it looks this like this, but really, because my head's over here more, it looks like that, but really, it's over there more. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, hold your finger up. Everybody hold the finger up. Pick a point. See it. Now move your head a little bit one way and see what happens. You see how the point of aim shifts? I'm really on right where I was at, but by me moving my head, I look like I'm looking through that window now. But really, I'm looking at that jacket. Thoughts?
Go for the red dot on that.
Well, the red dot typically don't have much parallax problems because you just got one dot. You kind of fill a target. That makes sense. So you don't have to worry about this because you typically have one dot, and wherever you can, especially the EOTech, wherever you hold it on, you're gonna hit because of the prism. I think aim points have more parallax than the EOTechs do typically. I think if I remember right, at 50 yards, if you hold it all the way through your screen, you're gonna be off like 8-10 inches on EOTech. I mean on a aim point where EOTech is less than an inch. Because of how the prism, how the dot works in it. So if you can see, you just won't see it. If you can see the dot, that's pretty much where the shot's going to go.